Writers, we are at a really big turning point in our lives. Your 5th grade year is ending and you are beginning to enter your almost teenage years. Middle school is right around the corner. So the shift to adolescence is like a rite of passage. In order to shift to your teen and then adult years, there must be a time where you leave elementary school and you enter the middle and high school. In high school, there is some writing that students do that help them reflect back on the good old days and help them move forward into the next chapter of their lives. These are called their college essays, and they help them get into college. So I remember writing mine about a person that was super important to me. But this person, when I was about your age, he was hit by a car and he passed away. So I was young, he ended up passing away, but I chose to write about him. And I wrote about how he actually inspired me to become an American Red Cross certified lifeguard. I was certified in first aid. And I decided to do that because the reason that he stopped his car was because he saw another car in trouble and he wanted to go help him, as he was also certified in first aid. So I wrote about him and how he inspired me. Now, I know that you aren't going from high school to college right now, but you still have a big transition coming up. You're closing one chapter of your life here at the elementary school and you're opening up a new one in the middle school. So instead of writing a college essay, we're going to write a memoir of our lives so far. Now, before we go on, I'm going to pause the video and you're going to take a moment to turn and talk about your experience in the primary and intermediate school. What stands out to you? What do you remember the most? So I heard about a lot of really great memories, and I look forward to seeing what we end up turning into writing. This unit is going to challenge you. It's going to force you to look back on your life, and it's going to force you to reflect. Plus, I can't really tell you exactly how a memoir goes. Sometimes it's an essay, sometimes it's a poem, sometimes it's a story, sometimes it's a mix of all three. It's up to you to decide how your writing is going to take shape. So today I want to teach you that when you start a big writing project, it helps to take time to read over work that is the sort of thing you plan to make. So it's kind of like looking at the picture on the cover of a jigsaw puzzle before you get to work to make the puzzle. It helps to especially think about how all of the parts fit together as a whole. So a while back we actually did read a memoir in class, and we're going to revisit this piece of writing. Because we need to look at a finished memoir in order to get an understanding of what a memoir really is. So you may remember the memoir 11 by Sandra Cisneros. We looked at this during our narrative unit. So I'm going to pause the video now so we can reread 11. As I read, I want you to pay attention to the different parts of the story. Where is she describing things like an essay? Where is she telling a story? I'll pause the video now. So we've gotten through our story 11. You may have noticed pieces of lists, you may have noticed information writing, narrative writing. It's a combination of both. So for the rest of class, you are going to be choosing some memoirs to take a look at. Each table has a collection of a few memoirs. You can read them together, you can read them alone. But each table is also going to have a piece of chart paper that's labeled what we notice about memoir. If your group notices something, write it down on the chart. So I'm going to end the video now and I'll give you whole class instructions.